A wave of panic and confusion rolled through Atlanta the moment word spread that King Harris, the 20-year-old son of rapper T.I. and singer Tiny, was fighting for his life in the ICU. Nobody saw this coming. Just days earlier, he was online laughing and talking like everything was normal. And then suddenly, he was lying still, hooked up to machines, while his family stood outside his hospital room in disbelief. The switch from normal to nightmare happened unbelievably fast, and from the very beginning, nothing about this situation added up. It all started on an ordinary night. King was driving his BMW, leaving a gas station, when he accidentally pulled out right in front of a passing police cruiser. His car nearly clipped theirs, a small mistake that set off a chain reaction no one could have predicted. Officers stopped him instantly, and as they approached the car, they claimed they smelled smoke, something off in the air. Before King could process anything, one of the officers spotted a gun on his hip. Within seconds, everything escalated. His information was run through the system, and that's when things really took a turn. A bench warrant from Pickens County popped up under his name, tied to a DUI case from August 2022. King never returned to court for it, and that missed date turned the warrant active. Just like that, he was officially under arrest. At first, it seemed like a straightforward legal issue, the kind of thing a lawyer could sort out with a court appearance. But instead, King was handled like a high-risk criminal. Within 24 hours, he was cycled through 3 different counties: Dunwoody, DeKalb, and Pickens. It didn't make sense. He wasn't violent, yet he was being transferred like someone extremely dangerous. People online started asking, why the rush? Why so many moves? What was happening behind closed doors? And the police gave 0 clear answers. Then things got even darker. Word leaked that King never even made it through holding. Something happened inside that jail, something nobody wanted to explain. Shortly after his arrest, he was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. The first excuse shared with the public was that he'd been in a jail fight, but that claim fell apart instantly. No mugshot was released, no perp walk, no footage, no witnesses, nothing. Suddenly, it didn't look like a jailhouse incident anymore. It looked like a setup. And here's the disturbing part. Even with his fame, even with his family's influence, no one in authority seemed willing to tell the truth. Officers claimed they saw nothing. Guards insisted he was fine before being taken to the hospital. No reports, no breakdown, no details, just a wall of silence. And in a case like this, silence is a warning sign. People began bringing up King's past, too. For years, he's been in the spotlight, not for music or achievements, but for drama, fights, and chaos. There was that infamous Instagram Live moment inside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, where he got into a heated argument with his father, T.I., in front of millions. King yelled that he didn't grow up with privilege, that life had been tough and he was built differently. T.I. wasn't having it. On camera, he grabbed King in a headlock and told him to stop embarrassing the family. Tiny jumped in and blurted out personal things without thinking about the fallout. It was a complete mess. And from that day forward, the downward spiral only got worse. King leaned into a reckless image, speeding around, smoking on camera, arguing with followers, trying hard to convince the world he was... Some people felt sympathy for him, saying he was simply lost and crying out for help. Others believed he was inviting trouble every time he went live. But nobody, not even his harshest critics, expected things to end with hospital machines, quiet hallways, and more questions than answers. And this is where the story takes a sharp turn. His ICU crisis wasn't some random twist to fate. It came after years of family drama, scandals, and old grudges stacking up around the Harris name. And if you think this is only about one arrest, you're missing the bigger picture. Something hidden had already been brewing long before King ever stepped foot into that jail cell. Someone was watching, someone was waiting. And slowly, pieces of the truth started slipping out, like smoke from a fire nobody wanted to acknowledge. People began asking the kind of questions that make authorities uncomfortable. Why was King moved so many times in such a short window? Why did the sheriff's office refuse to release a simple statement? Why did every detail of his arrest suddenly disappear from public records? Something was clearly off, and the silence only made things more suspicious. That's when the rumors spread like wildfire. Some said King was beaten inside the jail. Others claimed he was targeted because of his last name. And then came the whispers, the ones that suggested this had nothing to do with the Jailhouse incident at all, that whatever happened to King wasn't accidental. It was intentional. Some even believed this was a message to T.I. and Tiny. But why? What did this family know that could push someone to such extremes? To understand that, you have to look back at the foundation of the Harris dynasty. On the surface, they looked unstoppable. T.I., King of the South, a platinum-selling rapper who climbed from nothing to superstardom. Tiny, a respected vocalist from the legendary R&B group Escape. They built a brand: music, reality TV, luxury homes, fame, influence. They seemed untouchable. But behind the red carpets and bright smiles, a darker history had been growing. A list of controversies, lawsuits, and powerful enemies. Just 2 years before King landed in the ICU, T.I. and Tiny were pulled into a massive scandal. Sabrina Peterson accused T.I. of pointing a gun at her. At first, the internet brushed it off as drama, until more women stepped forward. Not one, not two, over 15. They accused the couple of drugging them, abusing them, trapping them. These weren't small claims. These were reputation-shattering accusations. Investigators in California and Nevada reopened old cases. Their MTV show was canceled before it even aired. Brand deals froze. Interviews stopped. The Harrises went silent while their legal team called the accusations lies. No charges were filed because the cases were too old, but the damage was done. Their image took a hit, and their enemies saw an opening. Then destiny twisted again, when Sabrina resurfaced claiming she now had proof of human trafficking tied to the Harrises. Screenshots, messages, documents. She claimed she had everything. Some believed her, others didn't. But the storm was back, and this time, King's name got pulled into the chaos. Just days before King's arrest, a man went online warning that certain people were willing to go to extreme lengths to tear the Harris family down, and that King was now caught in the middle of it. Most people ignored the claims until King's sudden collapse in the ICU made those warnings echo louder. What if King wasn't just acting out like another celebrity kid? What if he was tangled in something much bigger and far more dangerous? And here's where things get chilling. When reporters reached out to the jail for answers, they got nothing. When King's friends tried to visit him, but every single one of them were turned away. Even inside the hospital, security around his floor suddenly doubled overnight. And that's when people started asking, why this level of secrecy for just one patient? Why this much fear? Slowly, it stopped feeling like bad luck and started looking like a warning delivered through silence. Inside Grady Memorial Hospital, where King was fighting for his life, strange things were happening. Things that made people believe this wasn't a simple accident or some random fight gone wrong. Nurses whispered that unknown men were trying to access restricted areas. Security guards claimed they spotted strangers walking around the ICU floor, people who clearly didn't belong there. Yet, nobody stopped them. Nobody questioned them. They slipped in quietly and vanished the same way. Then came the rumor that sent a chill through the entire building. Hospital staff revealed that for exactly 20 minutes, the security cameras on King's floor went dark. No footage, no backups, no explanation. It was like those 20 minutes were wiped out completely. And still, that wasn't even the most disturbing part. A nurse reported seeing 2 men in maintenance uniforms standing near King's door right before the camera shut off. But they weren't part of the staff. They were strangers. No IDs, no records, no answers. That raised an even scarier question. Who wanted to reach King so badly they entered a hospital pretending to work there? And why were those 20 missing minutes so important? Meanwhile, outside the ICU, King's parents were unraveling. T.I., who always projects strength, was seen furious in the hallway, punching the wall in frustration. Tiny, who had just become a grandmother weeks earlier, stood shaking and crying, begging the doctors to tell her something, anything. It was heartbreaking. But the worst part? Law enforcement wasn't helping them. No detectives, no statements, no investigation. Just a thick, suffocating silence that felt more like intimidation than protocol. And then things got even darker. King's condition suddenly dropped. Machines